So yeah, so the reasoning behind this live, I wanted to do it before the resub start, um, is because we want people to understand that there's going to be a resub and it's all automated through Stacked Invest, and that happens depending on the day you subbed. And I think that was the first one was the 18th, so the 25th is actually the first day because we gave an extra week, and we've held to that as well. So that should all be within your subscription side of things. You can actually see in Stacked Invest when the date, your particular date is, because some people ended up subscribing a day later or whenever they got the email because we left it open for 3 days. So I really wanted to get this live going so you guys have an understanding if it's for you, how you're feeling overall. Now, obviously, we know that Foreseer hasn't performed from a perspective of ROI within its actual trades. This month and the month before as well, prior to actually releasing it, actually didn't perform too well as well. So we thought as a team, we said, okay, well, it hasn't performed for us. We'll take the hit for a month. Maybe we'll have an overturn in this month coming. But obviously, it missed a few longs. The first trade, the first trade was a short, and it went its way, and it started moving down until those fundamentals kicked in, and then you had Vitalik say testnet is live on ETH 2.0, and you just had one candle go crazy straight upwards. So I think it was like a $20 candle or $15 candle, and from there it never obviously came back down to the 200 ranges. So very, very unlucky start for Foreseer, very unlucky for all of us, I guess, at the end of the day. So we just want people to realize that what Foreseer is literally a trading bot designed to accumulate dollars. Now, we're very lucky because Ethereum's actually ran, if your collateral's in ETH, Ethereum's ran to a certain percentage where if you, even in the losses, even in the long short losses, you've lost your ETH value, right? But the ETH you still have is worth more in dollars than what you had when you started. So if that is what you're looking for, then Foreseer is definitely for you in that aspect. If that isn't what you're looking for, it's very hard to find a crypto accumulation bot out there. And I've searched and I've looked, and the whole team has looked for a long time. So Foreseer was the only reason we brought Foreseer out to people was because we believe in it and we've seen it and we've experienced it. Mind you, we have testers as well of Foreseer prior to actually launching as well. So like Amanda S is a tester from I think it was February or March this year. Jay Shaw is a tester. There's about maybe 10 of them out there, 10 to 15 of them out there. Now, we have been messing around with Foreseer and trying to get a tweak on the side, so not the public one. So the public one hasn't been changed. It's still the same exact one that we've been running for the whole year. Now, what I'm going to show you today is I'm going to bring up Foreseer as we've had it, and I'm going to show you also Foreseer with a slight tweak, which we already have a few testers on it right now, but we won't make those implementations until we know we're happy with it. So for us personally, we want you to understand that if it isn't for you, if a trading bot is not for you, please make sure that you don't resub. It gives another person a chance to get in, and to have a go at it and see if it is for them. Now, some people may say, okay, but I'm not too sure if it's not for me because it hasn't really performed. But then that's what you base it on. If a bot isn't going to consistently perform all the time, it's not gonna take every single trade and make a winner. So we were pretty straightforward as well as to every single trade it was doing before it was even live to you guys. We gave you everything from the get-go, and there was people that came in. I know you guys all know Moonshiner. Moonshiner is probably the person who has the most experience utilizing a bot, from what we know within our Discord in Cryptify. And Moonshiner was like, I can't believe Foreseer keeps on winning the trades that the other bots that I utilize are not. So from him standing out from a third party and looking in, because we were sharing everything publicly as well, every time it made a move, he was very, very impressed, and he still is very impressed with the whole thing. Moonshine is on it. I know he's still impressed with the fact that I'm sure he's impressed with the way it's handled the dollar side of things. He's probably not impressed with the ETH value, but we have been straight up as well on that as well. So I'm going to show you guys the current. So what we've done is we have our code built into Node.js, and that produces the actual algorithm and sends off the signals to the WebSockets to Stacked Invest, which then handles the trade for you to your preferred exchange and within your preferred settings. So in PineScript, which is through TradingView, we utilize PineScript, and we've drawn up a PineScript code where we can see where it's taken a long and a short, because we get to utilize their charts, right? And we can make it work. Now, sometimes that has one or two missing throughout a year of trades, because PineScript is not that great. I know if you have messed around with PineScript, you know that it has limitations and it's not really tuned to finer detail to the perfect point. But majority of trades, like 99% of the trades, are going to be there. So we're going to go through foreseer long short for what we have right now, and we've managed to give us a yearly outlook on it as well. So it gives us from the start to where it is now, and it gives us a yearly outlook from the start of the year to where we are right now. And you can see the actual graph, how many trades, the probability of it all, and everything else like that. And then I'll also show you a tweaked version that we have right now, that we have 2 testers on currently, which I mentioned yesterday as well, that there's a tweaked version. Foreseer is designed to slightly adapt, but obviously it's not adapting quick enough to the market. So we've only made a very, very slight tweak to it, and it changes a lot. And this is where we appreciate all your suggestions as well. We really do. You know, oh, why don't you run it with an SL? Or why don't you do this? And why don't you put a trailing stop loss in? Well, a trailing stop loss, you can have a trailing stop loss, price wicks up, stops you out, and then continues in the direction you are going, and you've lost a decent chunk of your profit that you would have made, but because of the trailing stop loss, you've lost out. So we've done all these things. We've forward tested, backward tested as well, and just letting foreseer be has always resulted in a better outcome at the end of the day in the long run. Now, obviously, past results are never going to be indicative of the future results. No one has a crystal ball here, and you know, we always look back, but you know, that's hindsight. We would never know. If we did, we'd be killing every single trade. So if anyone does know the future, please let me know. I would love to know, because then we can help everyone else and automate it for you. But yeah, so the whole point of this video is to show you the actual performance of Foreseer and how it's been going, and then show you the performance of the slight tweak setup that we have that's happening. Once again, there may be 1 or 2 trades missing off the chart, but we're not going to go through them all, but just as a representation as best as we can to show you that. And just to kind of let you guys know that if you don't resub, that's okay. There's no hard feelings whatsoever. We appreciate the fact that you gave it a go. And if it isn't for you, if you can't deal with it emotionally, mentally, if you're consistently checking your phone, I know it's exciting. And for some people, that's why they're on it, because it's exciting. You know, but if you're not dealing with it emotionally the correct way, then you know, trading with a bot is probably not for you. And I'm just going to be straight up with you. So we want to, you know, we just want to express that and let you guys know there's no hard feelings. At least you've given it a go. Believe it or not, there's another 200 plus people within the list that we can go through. Plus, we've had maybe about 30, 40 people reach out to us by now since Foreseer has been live. Even that they know that it hasn't performed from an ROI perspective on an ETH stack. And people can see that, right? Because it's all public. At the end of the day, we're very straightforward with it as well. They still want it, because to them, it's just another trading tool to their tools. So we have TIS, we have Road to 1 Million as an experiment. We have CryptoStat that you can go and scout trades off, and then we have right now Foreseer as well. So it's just another trading tool to add to your actual tools to be able to, you know, if it does perform, then great. If it doesn't perform, well, at least you're giving it a go, and then your other aspects of your whole management of whatever you're doing and your tools may be performing to kind of balance it out and better. So let's go ahead and go through it. So I'm gonna, you guys can see this? Oh. Yep, perfect. So this is the current foreseer that we are on from the start of the year literally to where it is right now. So you can see the overview, 77 trades to date, 72.73% probable, 91,000 at the moment, even with these losses. So this is from the start to the end. I'll be showing you guys that as well. So if you go to list of trades, we can see the 4th of the 1st, 2020, the first trade was a short at 133, and you had 112 ETH as your value. So you were holding 112 ETH, and this is based on $15,000 starting capital on the 4th of the 1st, and it is in 15,000 AUD. So if you guys want to calculate that and make sure that it is right, it's because this is 133. So $133, sorry, for ETH. So the starting ETH total was 112 ETH on the current setup that we're on right now. So if we scroll down, you get to see all the trades. You get to see all the trades for here, and there's a few in here that we had a nice streak of wins. Like, this is what we want. This is what we want to see. 40%, 5, 2, 17, 15. If this is how we had started, incredible, because you'd be up in your ETH stack, your dollar stack, and everything else, and you'd be very happy. But also, you may not be up in your dollar stack in this, because look where we went from $200 short to 120 on ETH. So you've lost $80 or 40% almost right there, right, off your ETH value, but you've obviously picked up 80% on top, and you've gone short, so you have a little bit more of a leeway. So you ended up with 462 ETH on the next trade. So if we keep scrolling down, by the end of it, you were left with 243 ETH. So this is from the start of the year till literally right now. So when we went short, you guys can see 413, and then we just went long right now, correct? 385.91, which was literally 21.19, 9.15, about an hour and a half ago. Almost an hour and a half ago to 2 minutes to go. So it's all correct data. There is nothing, there may be one trade missing in here. Literally one trade. So one or two, I truly believe it's only one trade that I've seen missing from the whole year. So those are the numbers on the current foreseer you're on from the start of the year till now, if you had been sitting in with $15,000. So 77 trades, also long short, 72.73% probable. Now this is the tweaked version of it that we have been playing around with, and you guys can see here a few more trades, a little bit more probable, 1,322.5% ROI from the start of the year, and you can see it had a little blip here as well, but then it's continued and to hold itself, and then another blip here right now. Now this current one actually took a trade along at 389 last night. The one we're on right now is at 385 about an hour and a half ago. But this was about 24 hours ago, yesterday, that it took a long at a little bit higher than this one here. But in between, you can see this one went short, right? But the other one went long before, right there. Right, so long, short, and then out. But this one also went short here at 385, and it held its hand to 446. It didn't budge, came back down to 408 and took it. So yes, there is the same model where it can be underwater, guys, like in a really big number. And if you can't handle that, then this isn't for you. And we just want to be really straight up with you guys, and we want you to understand that if you cannot handle seeing something being in a 20% loss or whatever, and it's still ongoing trade, 20-30% loss, then trading bots are not for you, especially foreseer is not for you, because foreseer is designed to hold its hand and designed to hashtag concrete hands. We've been saying that from the start. So there's that. So this one here, if we have a look, 1,322% ROI. I might be able to make it a little bit bigger there. 94 trades, 74.47% probable. And then if we go and have a look at the list of trades here, also once again, the 3rd of the 1st. First trade was a bullish one, 115.94 ETH at 129. Now if we scroll all the way down, you're left with 493 ETH here, and your total value of your account from 15 is sitting at $198,000. So we personally haven't seen any other bot do this sort of performance in the set time frame that Foreseer has been running. Obviously, we are not ready to really change anything drastic. This is with a very slight change from this to this, is very minimal changes to the actual algorithm. Believe it or not, very, very minimal changes. And that's how sensitive Foreseer actually is. So we just want to show you guys that we're obviously consistently working and trying to find, you know, how we can get it to adapt to the market a little bit quicker and make a better decision at the end of the day. So for us, I just wanted to show you guys that as well as a comparison and see. So this is, we've been working on this for probably about 2 weeks to try and tweak the original Foreseer to give us a slightly more quicker adaptation, as I said. So I just wanted to share that with you guys as well, so you guys have a better understanding of it. And then there's a performance summary, which is nothing really special, just telling you how much you paid in fees. Also, this does implement fees. So commission paid, you can see it right here. You've paid $12,714 in commission, in fees, since the start of the year running on this current bot. So it does implement the fees as well. Some people might say, oh, but those numbers are beautiful, but did you implement the fees? Yes, we did. We are not sharing with you anything that is invalid. We're not sharing with you anything that is false. We are trying to give it to you as straight as it is. So I know you guys appreciate that too. Alrighty, so that's that on there, and you guys can see we've taken quite a beating here on Foreseer from you know, and a trading perspective from if you're going long and short, obviously, but the overall dollar, if you had left your ETH collateral, everyone's going to be different as well, would be up. Now, a lot of people have implemented their own personal SLs. Some people have turned Foreseer on notification only, and that's okay. It's you're dealing with it the way you see fit and the way you feel comfortable, and that's exactly what we want. So, you know, it's at the end of the day, you are still in control of your account. And you make those decisions and you make those implementations, and the tools are there for you to be able to do that. If you don't know how to do that, please hit someone up within Discord. They will help you out. Now also, if you drop on the sub from Foreseer, you will not come back into your name will change from blue. If you're a TIS subscriber, it will go to orange. If you're not a TIS subscriber, it will go to green. Also, just keep that in mind as well. So then you won't see this actual channel because it is currently closed to anyone else except for people who are part of Foreseer. So just so you guys know that as well. What's going on here? Trying to get in. Okay, I get it. No, the tweaked version has a long now. Yeah, long, Tommy, sorry. So yeah, guys, so please, no, I guess, like I said, with no hard feelings if you don't resub, and we totally understand it, and you're giving someone else another go. Now, we don't want to release it any more than what we, to as many more people than what we already initially wanted from the start. And the reason behind that is because we don't want to be causing slippage like crazy. The numbers will change as well. What we register as well will change as opposed to what you have on your personal exchange by a little bit, depending on the exchange you're on. So we found that maybe FTX sometimes is for you and sometimes against you, but it has balanced itself out as well. Sometimes you're getting with you're coming out with a better trade, and sometimes you're not. When will the new tweak come out? We don't have a set date for them because this may not even be the best that we find. We are still, there's still slight little tweaks happening in the background. But please understand, if we are changing things around, it's not, we haven't forward tested it. Okay, we're not going to lie to you. If we're changing little things, we haven't forward tested it. At the moment, we are having a few people from the community. There's 2 people at the moment on it right now. We will push it to 10 people max. I have a few people that I've already put their hands up from my personal group that want to also be a tester for it. So we don't want to touch the original foreseer because it works. There's no point in changing something that works. Yes, it's had its little rough time right now. That's okay. No, it doesn't involve trailing SL bounding at all. There is no difference. There's very, very little difference to the current one. Okay, so guys, please, very little changes, like really changes, very minimal changes to the current setup. Now, we did say we don't really want to be putting out. Oh, also going back on the subs, for the people that do drop off, you are giving someone else a go at it, so we can get more people into it. So, if you don't resub, we'll get the on the 28th or the 29th my time. We'll get the list from Stacked Invest. Okay, there was 100 subs. Now you only have 98. 2 people have dropped off. We can go and get 2 people into it. Okay, just for example, from either the list or someone that's hit us up or someone that can fit within it. Okay. Now we said we don't really want to be releasing anything crazy. Unless we are performing, although some people are saying, Rev, Kurt, Rand, we know you guys are here to help. We know you guys are bringing the value to the table. What are you waiting for? Bring out more bots because we want them. So a lot of people have been saying we want an ETH ETH open or buy close. So it buys the actual thing and it closes the trade for you. It doesn't necessarily short. A lot of people have mentioned that they want that. So please keep in mind that that setup is purely dollar accumulation. Purely. There should be no ifs or buts. You should not look at how many Ethereum you had or how many Ethereum you're going to have at the end of it. Okay, it's purely dollar. Nothing else. If you do accumulate, if let's say, by the end of a 6-month period, you can get double the Ethereum that you had before, awesome. But it's purely for dollar. We don't look at that perspective at all. It is just we're making money and that's all we're focusing on here. We're utilizing ETH as a tool to produce an ROI on our dollar perspective and nothing else. That's a open and a close. So if that is for you, we may bring someone else like that out. We're not too sure when, but it may be a week from now, it may be a month from now. It may be 2 months from now, but we are currently talking about when or if we should bring someone to you guys, and we know that there's a lot of people that do want it. So please keep that in mind as well. Why not change it now? Crypto Crazy, perfect example. Why not change it now? Results look compelling. Crypto Crazy, the results look good right now, right? But what we have seen is there's waves. There's literal waves within an algorithm. It starts doing really, really well, picks up, and you're looking at it and you go, oh, maybe I should move on to this one because this one's outperformed my one by, if it's a little bit, 10%, 100%, 200% ROI, whatever it may be. And the moment you do that, you get a visit from Murphy, and Murphy pays you a really, really hard looking visit, and it's not a good one. And then you look back to what you had before, and Murphy wasn't paying a visit, right? Because he's already paid you a visit right at the start of that one. This is Murphy's law I've gone on about, guys. So we don't really want to be jumping at it. We don't want to make any irrational decisions, especially because all of you guys, are on it, right? For us personally, we'll start forward testing that new setup because we want to see how it's going to do. And by forward testing and backward testing. So what I want to make that clear. Backward testing is you have the history, but you haven't traded it proper. You haven't traded it with real funds, right? But you're looking at past history and you're going, okay, this looks good. Now, for forward testing, it's literally you're going in and saying, okay, I'm going to test this and see how it goes for 3 months, 6 months with real money. I'm going to start right now and I'm going to put $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, $100, whatever it may be, and start trading it and see what it does in 6 months. That's a forward test, just so people can get their head around it as well, and understand that aspect. So yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much all that we needed to cover. And there's really nothing else to cover, but we appreciate you guys for, first of all, being a part of the journey with us. At the end of the day, we win, you win. We lose, you lose as well, unfortunately in that sense. But we're here to pretty much go in this together and go hard. And we can just, we can only pray to look forward to a good future. By the end of the year, hopefully, Foreseer does turn around and make a move and start killing it again for us like it was throughout the start of the year and throughout last year as well, because we were actually forward testing it at last year as well, towards the end. A few people have mentioned as well, just really quickly, I'll touch on it. A few people said, why doesn't it follow the trends? And why doesn't it, if there's a breakout, go for a breakout? Sometimes it will. Sometimes it will try and go for a breakout and look for that. But most of the time, Foreseer is very, very hard-headed, I should say. It doesn't want to FOMO. It says, no, I'm going to hold my hand here and I'm done. Going on trend bots, also, trend bots only do well in trends, which is about 30 to 40% of the time. Of the market, whereas you can see Foreseer has a much higher hit rate than that. It's over 70% on a hit rate. Now some people may say, okay, but the higher percentages went there. But literally, I'm not kidding you. If you had a trend bot for the last literal year to date, one whole year from today to last year, you would have been liquidated before you even got the chance to get to the last month where we actually had a trend kick in. You would have been liquidated. You wouldn't have any more funds within that bot if you had it from year to date today. I can almost guarantee that, to be quite honest. So, especially if you were going in with 100% on a 1x, either long and short. Proud to be a part of the community. Looking forward to the more months ahead for Foreseer. Cheers, Rockstar. Thank you, my man. Cheers, Benolds. Too easy. So yeah, guys, I hope that answered some of your questions, answered some of your thoughts. If you're feeling a bit anxious and you have a bit of a anxiety with it, please remember, if you've given it a go, and if you're not feeling too well about it, and if it's making you feel, all edgy, it's not for you. I promise you, it's not for you. And I can say that though, because if it was doing well, you'd still be feeling edgy because you'd be looking at it. But instead of, getting all anxious, you'd be all excited and happy. This is someone where you just let it do its thing, and you've allocated the money that, that's not a big deal to you, really, at the end of the day. And you're letting it do its thing as another tool, as I mentioned at the start of the conversation. The great Cornelio. Okay, so it's better to be holding ETH as collateral than USD. So I want to answer that. I really want to answer this question. Is it better to be holding ETH as collateral than USD? I'm going to make it really quick. If you feel that we are in a bull market, then it is better to be holding ETH as collateral rather than USD in a long-short setup. Yes. But if you feel this is just some sort of little market move, and if you feel like the whole world's going to end tomorrow and we're going to have a market crash, then sit in USD. If we're talking about the buy and close setup, purely USD. Purely. You go into USDT, and then when it takes a buy, you go into Ethereum. And you're only focusing on your dollar aspect, and that is it. So we basically need to see enough market cycles transfer for Foreseer to form. 100% Raymond, yes. Correct, Thompson. Sub is automatically renewed unless you go and cancel it. And this is why we wanted to really make this before those come, because we want to give you the heads up. We don't want this sub for money to come out of your bank account for the sub, and then you've gone, they got me. That's not what we want. If it isn't for you, please go ahead to Stacked Invest and cancel the subscription, and that way you won't have a reoccurring, and the bot will trade until your last day of billing, and from there onwards you'll lose out the actual subscription. Now, if that does happen as well, you will not be able to resub. And we're not putting pressure on anyone or anything like that. It's because Cryptify bot or Foreseer bot it's exclusive to only the people that had that link right at the start. You can't find Foreseer anywhere else, guys. You are the only people. All the blue people are the only people that have Foreseer, and no one else can get it. You can go through the whole of Stacked Invest website, log out, and go look. You cannot find Foreseer anywhere else. So, and that link is that unique link that was sent out to each and every individual you will not be able to hit that link anymore. It will take you to nothingness. So just so you know that as well, I really want to make that. We're not putting pressure on anyone or anything else like that. We're just letting you know that if you do unsub, you cannot resub. Until we open it back up or someone else comes out, then you may have an opportunity then. Okay? I just really want to just make some of those things clear. My bank blocked my account because of last transaction opening again, but I hope the payment will go okay this time. Too easy, Rob. You keep us up to date on that, and if you can really show us that, then we're okay with that, mate. Legends, I'm gonna head off now. So it was really cool doing this. I am recording it as well. We may share this again for the people that missed it as well. Hopefully it is recording. As please keep in mind, I'm not at home still, so a bit of my computer setup is not what I usually use. So unfortunately for me, it is what it is. But we're seeing what we can do. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully we can do this at the end of every month as well, every month cycle, so you guys can see what it's doing, how we performed overall, and everything else like that. And maybe, fingers crossed, just maybe, we may have another bot out for you, coming into next month. Cheers, guys. I'll catch you all soon. Peace.